This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
Y'all, we are coming at you from a Hyatt Regency, I do believe.
Oh, yes.
In Chicago, Illinois.
Yes.
Drinking a little of Chicago's finest tap water.
Be careful because, Trump has, I guess, reduced some, I don't know, restrictions on what can be filtered in and out of the water or some shit. I don't know.
Who knows? Well, at least the water is not green. Remember when I talked about
Yes.
it? I feel like I got more responses being like, Mamrie, don't question the Chicago River green. It's all we have.
Yeah, people were like, please don't take something that I really like away from me in a time where that's happening too much.
Dry all the rivers. I don't even care. Hello, guys.
Hello, everyone. We are at currently a podcast, ironically,
I know.
podcast convention.
Yes.
And we just spoke on a panel
Yes.
about how video will save podcasting. And here we are with our camera propped up on an ice bucket, propped up on an ironing board,
Yes.
recording a video of our podcast.
I know when they're talking to us about like from an expert point of view about how video is so important in the podcast world. I was just like, I wish they had a picture of what it will look like when we are recording later.
Yeah. It was, we were personality hires for that panel.
1,000%. I said shit 3 times.
Yeah.
And I got nervous.
Well, it was really interesting because the way that they did these panels, we were all in one big conference room, but there were 3 stages all next to each other. And the audience for each stage had a specific set of headphones that color coordinated with the panelists.
It was silent disco.
It was silent disco so that you could have multiple panels all happening at the same time without like the noise pollution of them. And it was so silly looking, but really effective.
It was great too, because I know during it, I made one girl laugh at one point and I was like, she's laughing into a silent room.
Yeah, exactly.
It was great. Now, I feel like as someone who has a wild sensitivity to noise, especially noise, like traffic noise, like noises going over each other, someone on their phone while on the TV.
Competing sounds.
Competing sounds. I think we should incorporate silent disco headphones into more things.
I've never gone to an actual silent disco. They seem fun.
Here's the thing. I went to one. It was like a silent disco tent at a food festival in Brooklyn called Ooga Mooga.
Yeah.
Where I was doing man on the street stuff for the cooking channel. And it was so silly. But there was a silent disco tent and I went in. I had a blast.
Yeah, it seems like once you let your guard down and you just say yes to this situation, it looks really fun.
It's really fun. You're going crazy and then you take it off and you realize how silent it is. I thought we should get them for Palm Springs.
Yeah. Oh, because you can just buy the setup?
You can buy a setup.
Well, isn't it just headphones and a Bluetooth?
Yeah, but they're all connected.
Oh, they're all like synced.
They're
in
all
some way.
synced up. So if you're dancing, you're dancing on the same beat.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't need to. It was a fleeting idea when we were getting a bunch of noise complaints.
Yeah. That part works out. But this has been very interesting because I couldn't tell you the last time I've been at a convention.
Well, first of all, it's a convention. Second of all, when we were coming to this, I had no idea what to expect. I still don't.
Yeah.
But we're 2 of the only few podcasters here. It's all business people.
There's a lot of business people.
There's a lot of. I was just walking through the hallway,
sales,
carrying this guy, and you would think I was like talent coming through. Everyone's like, she's actually doing it. We're just selling the ad space on it, but she's out there doing it.
Living the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very strange dynamic because the last convention I was probably at was a VidCon, I guess. And that's obviously lots of talent and lots of audience.
This is lots of untalent.
And lots of talent.
Talentless.
Questionable.
Lesser talent. Okay, wait, let's get into it because you and I have not caught up. I flew in here last night with Beans legally.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. With the Beansers. But you were supposed to have a layover in Detroit and you got stuck there.
Yeah. Another thing that hasn't happened to me for a very long time. Couldn't tell you the last time. And look.
Well, it wasn't your fault. I mean, it's not like you missed your flight.
Here's what I'm going to say too. Okay. I have not been drinking this year. I did dry January and then I've just kept it rolling and it's been really great for me. And so this definitely threw a wrench into my system. My flight first of all, LAX was fucking crazy yesterday. And I was like, oh, I think I'm more sensitive to crowds than I used to be. And same with
when you're sober.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I'm just feeling everything now. And so that was already like, whew, this is a little anxiety inducing. Then I specifically was like, you know, when Elliot and I fly together, he loves an aisle seat to go to the bathroom. So we get aisle middle.
See, hold on a second. I too.
Yeah.
This is real love. Yeah. I too sit middle when I fly like comfort with Chip so that he can get the window. Well, this is sacrifice.
We will switch occasionally, but it's just one of us. He prefers an aisle, and I get it. To go to the bathroom, it makes sense, but I was traveling by myself, so I was like, I'm going to get myself a window seat.
Treat yourself.
I get on the plane. There's no window in my seat. Complete wall. So I was like, oh, this is great. Awesome.
Were you an emergency exit?
No, not even. They didn't need any of my assistance. And so it's just me and this wall, and then this elderly couple next to me that was so funny. The woman had just like a Dodgers sweatshirt on and she was masked up and she was so upset that she could not get her fucking books to download on her fucking iPad.
Uh-oh. I hope they were meditation books.
I don't know what they were, but she just at one point muttered, "This is worthless."
Oh my God.
Like, and I had to pee.
Oh no.
And I was like, because I also, since treatment, have a weaker bladder and I pee all the time now.
Also just our age, our pelvic floor.
Yeah, exactly.
I went to a Pilates class the other day and they were like, and stick around at 1, we're doing a pelvic floor class. And I was like, I'm officially old enough that I considered it.
Honestly, I work out sometimes, and if I'm jumping too hard, I pee a little.
But how do you make the pelvic floor stronger?
I don't know.
Is that a Kegel? Is that a Kegel?
That's what I wonder. If you jump on a trampoline, how do you tighten that trampoline back up?
And we haven't even had children.
I know.
Imagine that.
Oh
no. Hopefully it still sounds normal. Okay, wait. So the woman was pissed.
So I'm on the flight. I have no window. We're delayed. We start to take off, and then they're like, "Psych, guys, something on the wing doesn't work. We gotta go back to the gate."
It's kind of an important part of the plane.
Yeah, and I was like, "Damn it! I'm already so tight for my not on my pelvic floor.
Not your pelvic floor."
For my layover.
That floor got some creaks. That floor needs to be refinished.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
We were dropping through floorboards.
Oh, and so we went back to the gate. She's upset that she can't get her books to download, and I'm like, I gotta pee, and this is like a good time to do it because I don't know how long we're gonna be at the gate for. But she is really upset about.
Were
these
they
books.
letting you guys stand up?
They were.
Okay.
And so people are standing up. People are milling, and I finally was like, Can I scooch past you? And she just didn't move.
No.
And her husband had all his cords in, and he had to get all of his cords out.
When you try to get out, and you're like, it's like a 1920s operator connecting you to your neighbor.
Yeah, it was. So I went to the bathroom as fast as possible. Came back, and then we took off, and it was just like, oh, I'm fucked. I can't get my connecting flight. I'm gonna land in Detroit. I'm landing at like 9 something. Mm-hmm. There's literally no other flights to Chicago. I'm going to have to stay at the airport for the night. And at one point I like wanted to cry out of stress of just like having to reorganize everything, because I immediately get flooded with, what button do I push on the Delta app? And it's so quiet that if I tried to call them right now, I'd be so embarrassed about talking on the phone.
Switching a flight on the app too, it really makes you be like, what if I hit something that just makes me banned from travel forever?
And the Delta app is not always the best. Like I clicked to re-sign myself to the next morning's flight, like the first one in the morning. And then it told me that I was taking an afternoon flight. So I wasn't sure like if it had actually gone through correctly. It was a whole thing. But anyway, there was only one hotel attached to the airport. So I like quickly booked myself a room in there, the Westin. And it turns out that it wasn't just next to the airport. It was literally like in the airport.
That is ideal.
I got off the flight and I looked to my right, and it was the entrance to the Westin Hotel.
Ah, luxury.
And I just got so excited.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, now I'm just a little rascal of an adult kid that gets to do whatever she wants.
It being in the airport, like, because I've only stayed at one of those, and it was for literally 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because I was in a layover in Kuala Lumpur, and I was broke as shit, and I was like, I'll just spend the night in the airport. Like, who cares? they're like, no, we don't allow you to lay on the floor, you trash. Like you can, what are you doing here? And so I was like, I guess I'll check in for $50 to this nap hotel.
Yeah.
And just went in for 3 hours. But I've never stayed one the night. But you know what it makes me feel like? It kind of, in a way, when you said it, it's like being like trapped overnight in the mall or something.
Exactly.
Really?
It's like if you've ever fantasized as a kid of when you've like hidden from your parents in like a rack of clothes, and then you're like, what if they never find me and the store closes and then I'm in the store for the night? That's how it felt. It felt like cool and also kind of weird because the airport is such a place that people move through. Right. So to be just like, I'm staying.
And you know that there's just bodies moving around like trying to get to their flights.
You just assume that, you know, business people are the ones that primarily occupy like the hotels by the airport.
Oh, I'd be doing that if I was a family.
And the shit that they get up to, because it's like you exist in a different timeline.
So you're like, they're having affairs.
I was like, this is a house of affairs.
This is a house of affairs.
I bet.
Yeah. A couple people have a few too many margaritas at Chili's.
And they just step into the Westin Hotel, which by the way, I'm trying to get like, I'm a Bonvoy member now.
Okay, I was going to say, you've said the word Westin a lot. I think someone's trying to get some free stays.
I would love free stays, but my Bonvoy membership gets me points towards free stays. I'm trying to do these point systems now. But it wasn't cheap, the hotel. But there was no other hotel, and I didn't want to get in a car to have to go somewhere out of the airport. No. So I was like, this is fine. It was so nice. Literally, you walk through and I was just like, this is a really nice bar, a really nice restaurant. Ooh. Oh, you have room service available still for the next 2 hours?
Oh, you lucky duck.
It was so lovely.
Well, as soon as I knew your flight was canceled and I felt bad because the stress, I mean, I knew you were fine, but the stress of getting here because we had a thing we had to do and we were specifically flying here for this panel and it was in the morning, I knew you were stressed. But then the second I went on Instagram and saw that you had Instagram storied, I do believe it was a salad, sweet potato fries, and something else.
Apple pie.
I said, well, she's having a better night than me, and her flight got canceled.
Yeah, and here's what I'll say with the not drinking. Normally, if I was drinking and the flight got delayed and then I had to reschedule, I'd be like, I'd like 2 more double vodka sodas, please.
Totally.
I'm inconvenienced. And then I'd wake up at 6 a.m. like I did this morning, hungover and already angry about the day without even doing any of the things.
Look at you go.
So it just felt like, oh, I can handle all of the inconvenience.
Look at this growth.
Not only can I handle it, I can enjoy it.
You enjoyed it.
Someone's been watching Michael Buckley's stories.
Oh,
that's for sure. So
our therapy.
It was very fun.
Good.
Although this morning was a little stressful because the flight was also slow. And Midwesterners, wow, y'all really mosey off of planes.
Yeah, they do.
You guys take your time and you converse while doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I was stuck behind someone for a long time. It was just like every little alleyway or hallway. Every hallway was small way. And listen, and it was just like a woman taking her time with a cane and like, God bless. Yeah. But I was like, what if I was in a rush?
Yeah, exactly.
What if I was in a rush?
Exactly. And it's amazing the inner monologue that I have towards people when I'm in a rush and they're taking their times, how the awful things in my head I just say. It's like those videos of when parents, I don't condone putting your children on the internet at all whatsoever, but when the videos of people putting their kids in the bathroom and saying, you can curse when I shut the door.
Oh, they go fucking wild.
That's me to every person that's not getting off the plane fast enough. Fuck you, bitch.
Fuck you.
Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch.
Okay, all our ad sales just left.
Vacation season is quickly approaching, and it's time for you to treat yourself to luxe upgrades that you deserve with Kinsey's high-quality travel essentials at fair prices. I love this brand. Look, they have like lightweight European linen styles from $30. They have washable silk tops, comfy lounge sets. They have premium luggage options and stylish tote bags to carry it all in. And the best part is that all of Kinsey's items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Kinsey cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Kinsey only works with factories that use safe ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. You want to talk about premium fabrics? Before they even came on to support our podcast, last Christmas, I bought a quilted velvet terracotta blanket from Kinsey with a matching pillow set, and it has been sitting on our bed since the holidays, and every night we feel like a royal couple falling asleep on it. I also recently got their hooded Sherpa jacket. It is so cute. It comes in black and camel, and it has a hood that you can zip off, so it's multifunctional, lots of look options. It's trendy and classic all at the same time, and it's just made really, really well, and it won't break your bank. So for your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades you deserve from Kinsey. Go to kinsey.com/TMGW for 365-day returns, plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/TMGW to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Kinsey.com/TMGW.
No, same. What I do is when someone's being really slow in front of me in the airport, I go, imagine this is your mom.
Yeah.
And you would want people to not be behind her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have for sure in the last few years learned the lesson that people have things going on that you obviously will never know about unless you know about them. So give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. Speaking of moms from North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Pretty good segue. White Lotus.
Does it affect you? Because everyone's asking their moms to say
Lorazepam and tsunami and Taiwan and Buddhism.
Yeah.
My mom isn't that Southern. My mom is more like Southern. She like wasn't born and raised in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. She was, grew up in Florida. So her accent is different. But I absolutely know all those people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you watch the show Later Daters on Netflix?
No. You said it was really sweet though.
Yeah, it was decent. I don't think there were any love connections. So after you watch a dating show and no one ends up together, you're like, that was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
But there's a woman on that's literally like Georgia football raspberry. And I just, that is the accent. And one thing that I feel like people don't understand, and they're showing it in this like trend of having people say stuff, is a true male North Carolina accent sounds real gay.
Really?
Yeah, and like Zach Galifianakis is from North Carolina, and that's why his like brother character he does sounds it sounds very effeminate.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
And so I've been living for it. That is authentic.
Okay.
But my question about White Lotus, how much lorazepam did she bring? Because homie has been fucked up. How long are they there? Do rich people go on vacation for like a month?
Well, I'm like, what's the time? Yeah, I think it's only been like 2 or 3 nights that they've been there. Because if you think about it, maybe 3. Like,
wow.
I think that it's not been like a week. I don't think. I think they're taking us in real time of like maybe it's been
like
5
6
days.
or 7. I mean, because this is like episode 7 or something.
But he's popping like 2 or 3 at a time. And
the never-ending lorazepam bottle.
Yeah, and also, he's Draco Malfoy's dad.
I know.
Crazy. And what's his face? The guy that is, allegedly murdered Jennifer Coolidge or had her murdered.
Yeah. Uncle Rico.
Yeah. Elliot told me about that. And
he's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. He's also, for you older people listening, the movie Real Genius starring Val Kilmer.
Okay.
He plays the roommate that lives in the closet.
Okay.
Because I remember when Napoleon Dynamite came out, someone saying, that's the guy from Real Genius. And that blew my mind. And then I forgot about that fact. And he just every 15 years pops out. And I go, you're telling me that's the guy from the guy from the guy from the guy?
And also Mike White.
Yeah.
From Survivor.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
And Amazing Race. 2 seasons.
Jeez. It's insane.
How do people have time
doing stuff? Okay, but were you saying something else about the show in general, or
Let me see. I was saying North Carolina gay accent. How much lorazepam did she pack? That's all I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen Cake Picnic?
Oh, in San Francisco.
Yes. Cake Picnic, where 1,387 cakes basically There's one rule: no cake, no entry.
I mean, we love that. I mean, I feel like that should just be a rule at my front door.
Yeah, this is incredible. And I guess it's the second year that they've done it.
Okay.
And it's basically in San Francisco, they released tickets for $15. They sold out in 1 minute.
Stop it.
Yeah. So everyone just scooped them up immediately. And then everyone showed up with cakes, laid them all out on these picnic tables everywhere so that everyone could go around and take photos.
Wow.
And then after people had like sufficiently like gawked at these cakes,
Yes.
everyone was given a pastry box and could go around and collect slices.
Like a cookie swap.
Yeah. And eat cake.
How bad would you feel if you were there at 1,000 cakes and no one wanted a slice?
I know that part.
And no one wanted a slice.
There are some social dynamics like that, but also you're there for just the fun. This is, I love this idea so much. I do. Part of me goes, ooh, germs.
I have a spin-off idea now that you've said that.
Soups.
Nope. 100 dips. We call it 100rips.
But see, that's people
100s.
literally double
But what about a
dipping.
spoon? But no. Be like, bring your bag of chips.
Yeah.
And one of your 100rips.
And everyone wears gloves.
And then, well, I mean, because cake, you're
I know.
slicing. I don't know. I was trying to, I mean, obviously I love soup. People do the Super Bowl, all that jazz. But
the cake, it just looked...
It looks beautiful. There isn't a more beautiful food.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It looked gorgeous. And I've seen on TikTok, because when I'm flying is just like prime time for me to just watch all of the TikTok possible, because I don't watch a ton when Elliot and I are just hanging out. And so I've seen a lot of discussion about, with the rise of AI and all this shit online, that people are going to be looking for in-person meetups for more
Thank
IRL.
fucking God.
I know. That's why your book tour
Let's ride.
is like a perfect opportunity for people to like get away from screens
For 1
like
second.
misinformation and AI and like actually have real human connection again.
Great drag name. Misinformation.
Yeah. Wait, was that what Bob the drag queen? No. What did he call Dylan?
Misinformed.
Something like that.
Bob got to it first. But yeah, no, I agree. I love shit like that so much, obviously, from like years of planning live events and random shit. But like the beauty of 1,000 cakes, and they're all different. And what cake would you bring? What would you bring?
I don't know. Because like the fun is that they all look kind of like cartoon cakes too. So I don't even know if I would go for like the best flavor versus like visually looks fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, carrot cake I love. That is my favorite cake.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Really?
But you know what? I will do cream cheese icing, or I'll do vanilla.
But see, I would love to put like a purple dye in the icing and make it look like a fun cartoon cake on the
outside. Bitch, I think you just got your Easter plans.
Well, also we still have to think about our table setting.
I know. We really got to get into it.
Starting to brainstorm ideas. One is like, do we do girl dinner, but in our own unique spin on it?
And I think I told you maybe last week, the week before, that the girl who created girl dinner is Alona Mar's sister.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So random.
Right. And also girl dinner does promote disordered eating. So we'd have to be cognizant of the way in which we portray what we mean by girl dinner. Once
I get through this next month, I will be fully invested in the table setting. Can y'all hear those sirens? We're in Chicago.
We'll be back here in a month for
our book tour stop.
Yes.
Which I think there's literally like 12 tickets left. So if you're hearing this, fucking go.
Amazing. Oh yeah. Also, I'll plug my shows right now.
Let's do it.
You guys come and see me in Phoenix. It's literally in like a week and a half. April 10th.
Wow.
Phoenix, April 10th. Irvine, May 15th. And the newest ones that have been announced, St. Louis, June 27th, and Atlanta, July 7th. And those tickets are getting snatched up fast. Which is exciting. So get yours.
I'm going to do my little plug, right?
Yeah.
Because some of these, they're sold out. You know what I mean? Some of these I'm not worried about, but I did add some cool things. I got someone to come do like photo booth photos in Seattle.
Oh, that's fun.
So you'll get like a printed out thing and you'll get like a digital download just to make something fun, because it's just a meet and greet. Portland, we're going to do an after party. And so what it is the event in Portland at Powell's is free. However, my friend Delia and her company, we've got a couple sponsors. We're doing 100-person after party at this bar called Dear Sandy's, which is like a 70s living room.
Cool.
But you have to RSVP with your Powell's receipt of the book. First 100 people.
Okay.
And that's already like half full.
Nice.
I need you to buy tickets to San Francisco. And by the way, I never put it on there, but I don't think the elderly dogs are going to be there because they're having an adoption fair the same day.
Okay.
However, the money will still go towards them. And there will be a couple elderly dogs there. Beans, Larry, and Chip. Also come to Kansas City. I announced my friend Michelle Davis, who was Thug Kitchen, now Bad Manners Food, has like 6 New York Times bestselling. Like she's like maybe the most best-selling vegan cookbook of all time. Wow. She's going to lead that convo. Okay.
Amazing.
I powered down.
Are you ready to have convos about your book? That is what's interesting about book tours, that it's like in convo with.
It's in convo, but I also, you know me, I got drag queens bopping in. We got crazy stuff. Yeah. It's more like with Michelle in Kansas City, she is a cookbook author. She's probably going to ask me things about writing a cookbook.
That Chris Clemens
in New York, we're just going to be going crazy.
Oh, that's going to be one for the girlies. That one's going to be like Giggly Squad.
I know.
In an alternate universe.
Because I didn't even announce it. Sold out before I announced him. And I was like, oh. But however, if you didn't get tickets to that, I am having a signing line at the Strand the next day. So come buy a book and hug me and take a photo anyway. Okay, we are done. Okay. All right. What else did I have to talk about?
Kesha commented on a TikTok of mine this morning. Today's a strange day for old Helbig.
Today is a weird ass day.
I heard her new song with T-Pain. I don't know if you've heard it yet.
I haven't yet, but I love T-Pain.
Oh my God, it's such a bop. Everyone's saying recession pop is back, and that's Kesha is bringing it back. Like if the world is falling apart, let's dance, and this is the time for us to do it, and no better queen to lead it than Kesha herself.
I saw, it's so funny that the recession pop is a girl who has a $sign in her name.
Not anymore, apparently.
Oh, she took it out. She took it off.
I put in my video, even Elliot said, you dead named her. And,
no.
She was cool about it. I was like, I know, in hindsight, I feel bad.
Oh, well, you know,
we're all just trying our best. We're well-intentioned.
I saw Ed Sheeran commented on something that he called himself like a recession
pop artist.
Or like, like, I don't know, like a... I can't think of words today. I'm sorry, guys. My brain cells are in a recession.
While having a panel, and we have to go to 2 other meetings after this, and it's just a day of talking and hoping that we're charming enough to get away with saying absolutely nothing.
Yeah, no one learned shit from us, and that's totally okay.
One thing
recession indicator. That's what I was trying to think of.
Recession indicator.
Yeah, someone said about Ed Sheeran, and he commented, he goes, I'm a recession indicator.
That when he starts making music again,
it means the world needs a little like healing and like a salve.
That's what everyone's freaking out about Kesha and T-Pain on this new track, which is so catchy.
Okay, I'm into it.
You're going to love it.
I'm into it. Have you watched any of, I got sucked into this. I went up to Napa last weekend for Jacqueline's 40th birthday, celebration 2 of 3, and Temptation Island.
No, I have not watched.
Now, if you want some floating trash.
Yeah, is that an MTV thing?
No, this is Netflix.
Oh, because it's, the other one, never mind, I'm crossing wires.
No, you're probably thinking of like X on the Beach or something.
Yeah.
No, this is like 4 couples who've been together, who one of them doesn't trust the other, or for whatever reason they are there. They are coming to this island for like 10 hot dudes and 10 hot girls to tempt them, and they put them in like separate houses so you don't interact, but then every ceremony you see a clip of what your partner was doing. This is one that there was one in Spanish. I don't know if it was Spain or like what country the franchise was from, but the guy was like screaming because they fully were like showing his girl like clearly having sex with someone.
Yeah, this isn't meant to make these people better. No. This is meant to psychologically break them.
Yeah, but I've been having fun watching it. It's been a pretty good time, but what was killing me is the host of it. Grace, did you ever watch Shop Till You Drop?
Of course I did.
Mark L. Wahlberg.
Why? Every day after school, Tim and I watch Supermarket Sweep and Shop Till You Drop on a half hour by half hour of absolute entertainment.
Well, let me tell you, Mark L. Wahlberg is the most ill-cast host to ever look up. Now look up Temptation Island.
Hold on, let me just make sure. Let me get a visual on the old. This guy who already looked very old to
maybe
start?
It's not Shop Till You Drop. No, it's this one. Here he is.
This guy.
Yeah.
Mark L. Wahlberg.
So they must have switched hosts of Shop Till You Drop halfway through. But let me tell you, Grace, This is not a show that this 60-year-old man with fresh veneers needs to be. He got fresh veneers.
Yeah,
he can't get his lips around him.
Look at that.
He is on there being like, now is there a lot of temptation? He sounds like his dentures are about to fall out.
This is an interesting casting
Yes!
because he obviously age-wise looks like they're I'm assuming it's all young people.
It's all young people, maybe like 20s, maybe a couple people early 30s. You can tell they're all like, why isn't this Nikki Glaser?
Yeah, this is so weird.
But Grace, the thing is, and this is what the people have been saying. He got new veneers. Mm-hmm. It's like Miley Cyrus days. Like he is trying to get his lips. He has got a little bit of a lip. It's a woodwind sound.
That's like a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
Like veneers are tricky business.
Yeah.
Because once you get them in, you get your little teeth shaved down to those vampire. Gollum little fangs. And then they put in those big ass pieces. Like I would feel claustrophobic, like wanting to rip them out of my mouth if they're too big.
Me too.
That's sad for him.
So anyway, it's been a very interesting to watch like hot singles. Like one girl came out and she in her interview. They got to the interview and she was like, "What's my guilty pleasure? Sucking dick." And we were just cracking up because like all the guys are like pretty sweet. None of them are players, the ones that are tempting. And then he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm a Princeton grad, 2 degrees, blah, blah." And then it comes to the girl just being like, "Love sucking cock." We're like, why are all the guys like dreamboats and the girls are just little temptresses? But it was a very fun watch just to then see Mark L. Wahlberg come out of the shadows and give these youngsters advice.
Let me host it. Let us host
literally,
it.
I go, why am I not hosting it?
Well, also, Shop Till You Drop. I've been saying for years that show should be brought back. The same way that they brought back for a second Supermarket Sweep.
I don't even remember.
Shop Till You Drop took place in a fake mall.
Oh, no, I know that. And you had a fake credit card.
Yeah, and it was upstairs, downstairs, and there was 3 teams.
Okay.
And you competed. And then at the very end, whatever team won, similar to Supermarket Sweep, where they went for like the final round where they had to do all the hints to find the $5,000. You got to shop like crazy in the mall and try to get prizes. I think that totaled over a certain amount. So it's like one partner stands with the host shouting out stores, and the other partner grabs boxes that you don't know what's in there, and then at the end they do like a checkout and they open each box and be like, "Here's what you got from the sporting goods store."
Yeah, here's a rack, here's a batting glove. You'd be like, "Meow." They'd be like, "This, you got a whole canoe."
You win like a trip or something to somewhere
Here's the
fancy.
thing. I think we should try to bring it back. I think we should look up if Mark L. Wahlberg is a producer on that show and delete this episode.
I know. Look, I'm a fan of his work. And
Me too.
Maybe he's in some, Netflix deal where he's got, he like has to, what is it called when you have like an overhead deal?
And,
and you have, like
first
first looks or something. So,
but also he's older than Marky Mark. Do you think he added the L? Like when he hosted Shop Till You Drop, do you think he went by Mark L. Wahlberg when Mark Wahlberg wasn't famous yet? Or did he literally have to take an L? Like if a Grace Helbig just popped off and was like wildly famous, would you start going by your full name?
Yeah. And what does he deal with? I mean, honestly, it's probably helped him out now with like
he goes to audition for Boogie Nights. They're like, not the mark we thought we were getting for Boogie Nights 2.
Man,
still ding-a-ling-a-loo.
He must make cameos for people that are so shockingly disappointing.
That is but it's such a specific name.
I know, exactly. Well, there's no H in the last name, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think there's an H in Mark Wahlberg's actual last name. Man, I'm just like, I love Shop Till You Drop so much. And I forgot, because I do think that malls are in that like nostalgia era.
Oh, 1,000%.
Like, Elliot and I were like, we need to leave the house. So we went to a mall and went bowling in this bowling alley.
Great. Kim was like, they're bowling without us. Where are they even bowling?
We literally we went to Bolero in this mall that's
Love Bolero.
Yeah, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
Bolero, like the tie.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. So we were like, let's go bowling. My forearm is still sore. I used muscles I didn't know were atrophying in this part of my arm. And Two things. One, you don't realize how overly stimulating bowling alleys are.
Oh yeah.
There are TVs with every possible game on. There's video games being played in the back. There's music being played.
That's why I'd like a silent disco bowling alley.
That would be really great.
Hello.
I think we should have more casino bowling alleys.
Okay, I like this.
If there was a way to go gamble and then go bowl.
No. I think we
reverse.
I think we put them together and we go, I'm going to bet that I'm going to get 7. And if I get just 7, not one more, one less, like I get 14. God. Like you can like bet to give yourself like strike advantages.
Is actually ruining our society. But if it's in a fun way.
Not if we got a golden nugget ad to read.
That's true. That's true. True.
Not if we're sponsored by DraftKings. Okay. Listen, I'm having a great time. But we have one ad this week, and we are late to go meet with the guy from Apple Podcasts.
Oh, yeah, we're literally
late for a meeting
with the people that run Apple Podcasts. Well,
I know. Sorry to cut it off, but we already pushed the meeting by an hour, so I didn't want to.
I'm going to talk about, I got into this wormhole on TikTok. Someone posted tell me your most unhinged neurodivergent hacks. There's 30,000 comments on it.
I love this.
And some of these are pretty genius. Some of them are truly unhinged. Some of them are pretty genius. I'll go through some of them next week. And in the meantime, let us know your neurodivergent hacks for productivity and getting things done.
I think I saw something about that. Oh, I'm so excited. And I'm going to talk about a Snickers coffin and the nail brand OPI.
Yeah.
And the backstory behind it.
Okay. Well, damn.
Look at this. Stay tuned.
Wow. Cliffhangers.
Wow. Video and podcast really makes a difference. Oh, I'm going to go get out of your sweatshirt. This got weird.
This might get weird.